Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, I think, but ladies also, please. I'm Steve Erlanger. I have the great privilege of doing this panel on the Middle East. We have a nice, tight panel, which is good. So what we're hoping to do is have a conversation. Everything's going to be a little bit shorter because of this long lunch. But before I start, I want to just say two things. One is to thank Thierry, Song Nim, and all the team for truly a substance-filled conference. I've been very impressed because there are a lot of conferences that aren't nearly as substantive. And second, if I'm allowed, I just want to make a nod to someone who used to come constantly to this conference. He was a great friend named Jim Lowenstein, who died at 95. He was an American ambassador. He founded the French-American Foundation. He was a tennis player into his 80s. He was very important in the criticism of the Vietnam War as a young Foreign Service officer. Charming man. I miss him terribly, and I just wanted to bring his name up. So onward to our real substance. I won't introduce these two gentlemen. I think everyone knows who they are. So I'm just going to start with you, Mr. Fahmy. Anwar Gargash was here. He gave a pretty good speech. He said October 7th was a geopolitical earthquake. And to me, October 7th was a bit like the fall of the wall in 1989. It was completely unexpected. It wasn't predicted. And it's been having ripples that are continuing. So what are the outlines of this earthquake? And do you think more ripples are to come?
Sure. First of all, thank you for the question. But before I get into that, I want to thank Thierry. I want to thank the WPC team for the invitation and all the hospitality. And I want to thank, of course, the Emeritus for their continuous hosting of this project. I agree. I actually think that it did have, October 7th and October 8th and thereafter, a geopolitical shakedown or earthquake. I don't think it was a surprise, though. The volume, if you want, the bloodshed, of course, was a surprise. But with 70 years of conflict, you've had recurrent outbreaks of violence. But to go to your point, before October 7th, we were all becoming complacent that this could continue with occupation and tension, security and insecurity, without there being damage. And more, people even started to lose sight of the very fact that the real solution to this is Israel living in security and peace in its borders, and the Palestinians living in security and peace in their borders. So the two-state solution before October 7th was something you and I talked about, but not the public.
And even you and I didn't talk about it much.
Yeah. With what happened on October 7th and after that, now everybody understands this cannot continue. There will be continuous bloodshed, recurrent. Nobody knows who will start it and where, unless we solve the problem. And that means doing two things at the same time, or at least linking them together. Dealing with the crisis, in other words, October 7th and the ramifications, the Gaza situation, and ultimately finding a way to lead that into the resolution of the conflict, which is Palestine-Israel, which has to be dealt with in itself, and which always has ramifications regionally on many other issues.
Right.